March 6th, 1944, 23000 feet over Nazi Germany. A B-17 flying fortress named Hell's Fury is alone deep in enemy airspace. In the tailgun position, Staff Sergeant Michael Mad Mike Donovan is watching death approach. 12 Messerschmitt Bf 109 seconds are forming up at 6 o'clock high. The odds are impossible. Standard procedure manuals were clear: retreat to defensive posture, conserve ammunition, wait for the enemy to commit. Training said wait. Common sense, said survive. But Mike Donovan had a different plan. He wasn't going to wait. In the next 4 minutes, 12 German fighters would fall from the sky. 0 American casualties. And every bomber gunner in the 8th Air Force was about to learn a new word: aggression. This is the story of how one tail gunner's suicidal tactic rewrote the rules of air combat, how desperation became doctrine, and how the most dangerous seat on a B-17 became the deadliest weapon in the sky. To understand the tactic, you have to understand the man. Michael Donovan grew up in South Boston, a place where survival meant hitting first and hitting hard. His father worked the docks. His brother boxed Golden Gloves. Mike learned a simple lesson early: waiting gets you hurt. Action keeps you breathing. By age 17, his record was 32 street fights. He won 28. Why? Because he never let the other guy start swinging. When Pearl Harbor happened, Donovan enlisted. The Army wanted him for ground crew. He demanded gunnery school. The instructors hated him. They said he was too reckless, too aggressive. Donovan's response became a legend at the academy. Dead gunners don't shoot back, live ones do. He graduated 3rd in his class, not for accuracy but for pure raw speed. March 1944. He transfers to the 390th Bombardment Group in England. His new plane, Hell's Fury, had a dark reputation. The previous tail gunner had quit, calling the position cursed. The pilot, Captain James Whitmore, tried to warn him. You know the stats: tail gunners have a 38% casualty rate. Donovan didn't blink. Then I've got 62% odds. I'll take 'em. Whitmore asked why he was so confident. Donovan replied, because I don't wait for them to shoot me. I shoot first. Whitmore shook his head. You're insane. You'll fit right in. March 2nd, first mission, target Schweinfurt, the graveyard of bombers. Donovan shot down 1 Bf 109 and damaged 2 others. But it wasn't the kills that scared his crew. It was how he did it. Standard tactics said, wait for the fighters to commit, save your ammo, protect the plane. Donovan did the opposite. He fired bursts at fighters that were still forming up miles away. He wasted ammunition on targets at extreme range. His logic was brutal math. 1 burst at 800 yards costs 20 rounds. 1 fighter breaking his attack pattern saves 1,000 pounds of aircraft and 9 lives. After the mission, crew chief Frank Murphy was furious. You fired 1600 rounds. Standard load is 2000. You used 80% of your ammo on 1 run. Donovan just pointed at the pristine fuselage. And we didn't get hit, he said. I'll take that trade every day. But Donovan wasn't satisfied. He realized the Germans were fighting in a rhythm. They dictated the pace. The lead fighter drew fire. The wingman went for the kill. He realized a fatal flaw in American doctrine. We react, they act. What if you reversed it? What if the bomber became the aggressor? March 6th, 1944. The day everything changed. Target Augsburg. Intelligence predicted 2500 German fighters. A meat grinder. Before takeoff, Donovan asked permission to go full aggressive. I want to engage before they commit. Force them to defend. Whitmore warned him. That burns ammo. You'll be dry before the real fight. Sir, we've been playing defense for 2 years. How's that working? Maybe it's time we stopped waiting to get shot. Whitmore sighed. You've got 1 mission to prove it. If we get shredded, you're off the gun. 0919 hours. The calm before the storm breaks. Fighters, 6 o'clock high. 12 bandits, 12 BF1, 109 seconds, 2000 yards out. Perfectly formed. Any other gunner would wait. Donovan opened fire immediately. Maximum range, low hit probability. The tracers arced through empty sky, missing by hundreds of feet. But the psychological effect was instant. The German formation scattered. The lead fighter broke right. The wingmen panicked. The perfect attack pattern disintegrated before it even started. Donovan, cease fire. You're wasting ammo. Donovan didn't stop. Negative, sir. Watch what happens next. The Germans regrouped, but now they were cautious, probing, hesitant. The initiative had shifted. They weren't hunting anymore. They were worrying about the crazy tail gunner. One veteran German pilot refused to be intimidated. He broke off and came in hard. 1400 yards. 1200 yards. The range where most gunners panic. Donovan held his fire. He let the German close to 1000 yards. The fighter filled the sight. Then Donovan unleashed hell. Not a burst, a barrage. 200 rounds in 3 seconds. The Bf-109 flew directly into a solid stream of lead. The engine exploded. The aircraft ceased to exist. First kill, good kill, the radio crackled. But Donovan wasn't celebrating. He was already tracking the next 11, and they were angry now. The remaining 11 fighters regrouped instantly. They weren't amateurs. They split into 2 vectors, 6 coming from 6 o'clock high, 5 flanking from 7 o'clock. Standard pincer movement. Divide the gunner's attention. Kill the bomber, waste gunner, you've got 7 o'clock, Donovan yelled over the comms. I'm holding 6. It was a gamble that bordered on insanity. Donovan deliberately ignored the 5 fighters attacking his flank. He trusted Sergeants Price and Johnson to handle them. He focused his entire existence on the 6 fighters diving straight down his throat. 6 against 1. They dove. Donovan picked the leader. Target. Fire. Hit. The fighter exploded. The formation wavered. Donovan shifted to the new lead. Fire. Hit. Another explosion. In 30 seconds, 3 Bf-109 seconds fell. The remaining 9 didn't reposition. They didn't circle back. They fled. Full retreat from a single gun position. Donovan checked his ammo. 1200 rounds spent, 800 left. Enough for one more fight. The question was, would they come back? 15 minutes later, the answer arrived. They came back, and they brought friends, 18 fighters, a full staffel. They had learned, no more probing, no more caution. They attacked from every stern quarter simultaneously. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. A swarm of angry hornets. Standard defense says spray and pray. Try to suppress everyone. Donovan chose violence. He ignored the flanks again. He locked onto the 6 fighters coming dead astern the suicide run. 6 Bf-109 seconds versus Donovan. Closing speed 400 knots. He had 7 seconds before they were in firing range. He used all 7. He walked his tracers directly into the lead fighter's flight path. The pilot held his course, a fatal mistake. At 800 yards, the canopy shattered. The plane rolled inverted and died. 5 left. 400 yards. 3 seconds to impact. Donovan didn't track them. He fired where they had to go. Pure instinct. The second fighter flew into a wall of lead. The engine cowling disintegrated. The explosion was so close it rattled Donovan's teeth. The survivors broke off at 100 yards. Too close. The risk of collision was higher than the reward of the kill. "Jesus Christ!" Whitmore shouted. Donovan just splashed 2 more. But the Germans weren't done. Radar picked up a new contact, a full group. Combined with the survivors, Hell's Fury was now facing 48 enemy fighters. Alone, Donovan looked at his belt. 180 rounds left. 4 seconds of fire. Against an armada. The Germans swarmed. No tactics this time, just rage. Donovan picked his targets carefully. Short bursts. Controlled chaos. Bam. Burst. Kill. Bam. Burst. Smoke. Bam. Burst. Explosion. 3 fighters down in 10 seconds. 1 final fighter charged. 200 yards. Point blank. Donovan squeezed the triggers. Click. The guns were dry. 180 rounds in 45 seconds. 6 fighters destroyed in this engagement alone. But now, he was defenseless. "I'm out," Donovan called. "Dry on all guns." The Germans knew it. The tail guns had stopped barking. They regrouped. 27 fighters left. They moved to the 6 o'clock low position, the blind spot of a defenseless tail. Donovan watched them. 400 yards. 300. 200. He had no bullets. But he had one weapon left, psychology. He traversed his empty guns. He tracked the lead fighter perfectly. He stared down the barrel as if he was ready to fire. The German pilot saw the twin, 50 seconds, tracking him. He saw the barrels aligned with his cockpit. He knew the gunner should be empty. But what if he wasn't? Fear overrode logic. The pilot broke hard right. He flinched. The threat was phantom, but the fear was real. The rest of the formation followed. they broke off. Not because Donovan could shoot them, but because they believed he could. "They're breaking off the ball," turret gunner screamed. "They're actually breaking off." The Luftwaffe had lost 21 aircraft to a single bomber. The cost was too high. They went home. Hell's Fury landed at Framlingham 9 hours later. 47 bullet holes, 13 cannon strikes. But everyone walked away. Murphy found Donovan on the tarmac, smoking a cigarette. "You used everything," Murphy said. 2,000 rounds. Donovan exhaled smoke. "Didn't have enough to waste any." The final tally: 12 confirmed kills, 4 probables. In 4 minutes. It was the single most destructive defensive performance in 8th Air Force history. General Anderson pulled him off the line immediately. "Your crew is alive because of you," he said. "Now teach the rest of them." The Donovan Doctrine was born. Aggressive fire. Psychological warfare. The results were undeniable. Tail gunner casualties dropped from 38% to 23%. Bomber survival rates soared. Mad Mike died in 1998. Only 17 people came to his funeral. No 21-gun salute, no fanfare. Just a quiet goodbye to a South Boston street fighter. But somewhere up there, 3000 airmen are flying peacefully because Mike Donovan taught them one simple lesson. Survival doesn't come from hiding, it comes from hunting.